Hello everybody and welcome to what is probably the first video I'll be making on World of Warships, where today, well, I have here my first Bayern match in a long time, together with my buddy Falcon over there. He lost his old account, so he can't really play on that anymore and is now grinding up the Russian Tech 3 cruisers. So I hopped into my Bayern and decided I'd join him for that. Well, yeah, Bayern, kind of unfortunate matchmaker here. Well, I mean, not really. We're facing only tier 5s, a lot of cruisers. However, there is the issue of that's the double CV match and the submarine. So clearly, the expectations for going into this game were not very high from me, because Bayern doesn't have the best AA, nor is it really known to be great at ASW or anything else like that. And I mean, knowing German battleships, you don't really expect anything from gameplay with them in general, especially in this sort of matchmaking where you'd have to stay at range most of the time. But what that doesn't really take into account is that this is tier 5 and 6. You don't actually stay at range in these tiers. You never do. You get close. You push. Also, I should mention I do have a 10-point commander on my Bayern. I have a relatively standard build. And yeah, concealment expert Bayern is actually quite stealthy at 12 km. I think it's actually stealthier than the tier 5. It is way stealthier than Gneisenau with the same build, which would be at 13.7 km. And yeah, you kind of just get to sneak up on people. Bayern might actually be the stealthiest German battleship that isn't like a tier 4 and below. So yeah, you have devastating firepower, you have decent concealment, you have almost 18 kilometers of range and a spotter plane, which is fairly usable, and at tier 6, lots of overmatch and decent armor. Our team kind of gets a bad start with our DD detonating basically 2 minutes into the match. He was really speedrunning that. And yeah, that kind of puts that other flank down to 3 ships already, and the Ryusho who is striking over there. Now, I am heading with my mate there over to the flank, which has the submarine as well. So that's fun. Right, so around here, I actually get spotted by this Königsberg in middle. I asked my friend as well, what is he doing over there? Because I cannot imagine somebody capping in the Königsberg. Turns out, he's not doing anything there. He is gone. So that's kind of my first salvo Bayern after like a few months of not playing that ship at all. Bayern decided that it had to show off apparently, and show off it did. Very much so. Yeah, this salvo kind of actually made me like Bayern. There we see that Cruiser actually mentioned it in chat as well. And I kind of actually had to send something back. It'll probably show up in a moment. Yeah, there it is. But yeah, I do actually believe that the Bismarck wouldn't have done that. Bismarck would have just overpenned that, because it always does. You cannot trust Bismarck guns. Right, anyways, shots out on the Cavour at that range, still 8k, which, that's pretty good. Don't know why I popped the spotter here, I should have known that it doesn't give me the range I need. And oh, would you look at that, there's another cruiser in B. This time one with a smoke, who's trying to smoke farm me. Which I'm kind of tempted to blind fire him here, because I don't have anybody else in range, or at least not within shooting angles. And yeah, there we go, I get spotted by planes again, so I expect him to fire at me again. which he doesn't yet. And then I go dark and then he takes a shot, which kind of confuses me a bit, but now I keep eyes on that smoke to see where his shells come from, look forward as well. And that's where he came from. So blind fire out, shotgun dispersion, and the one shell that connects is a citadel. Gotta love it. The guided shell that just had to hit the right area happened to be his hit. There we go. He's actually leaving his smoke, or I guess it's a crawling smoke, so he's not exactly leaving it, he's just outrunning it. And kind of just trying to get away. I think I actually missed the next shot or two, mostly because, I mean, he actually slows down and dodges that one, which is pretty good. Overmatch still at work though, getting that full pin in despite the angle. Cruisers at this tier really are just made out of paper. Here's a great reason for me to start moving again though, the carrier. I kind of overlead this shot, I guess. Or maybe he just manages to turn in, slow down. Not too sure anymore. This is a replay, yeah, he slowed down, turned in. The carrier actually did fairly little damage. I expected him to do like way more with those AP bombs, but he didn't. There goes that cruiser in B. And yeah, Bayern AA is actually killing planes right now. You might think that it's mostly fighter kills, which is usually the case with AA, that they just kill fighters and not actual planes. But as you'll see later, also overmatch here again, the AA actually killed a lot of normal planes. I think it was only 1 or 2 fighter kills. Now here, I'm kind of screwed. I'm basically stationary and the submarine has torps on me with a ping. So I expect to take a massive amount of damage here. Except accelerating and turning kind of screwed the torps, I guess. Which I am very much a fan of that. I apparently kind of overlead that here. Submarines are very mobile, very agile, I find. So hitting airstrikes sometimes a bit challenging if you're not too used to it, and evidently I wasn't, because here I kind of thought he would turn in, try and get more torps on me, so I dropped there to prevent him from doing that. And would you look at that, he, I think, turns out. I didn't take my main gun shot here because I thought he was actually dead, which he wasn't. Submarine did turn out, so that worked. Actually, I think tier 6 battleships have quite fast plane reload. They only get 1 charge maximum, but their plane is up after like 20 seconds, which that's pretty nice. Got a flooding on the submarine, which, as we can see, it's still ticking, so there's the oil spill. Send another depth charge out, roughly where he was headed. See if that'll hit. Oh, there goes my mate in the Budioni. He's dead. And there goes the submarine. I am at this point still being bullied by the CV. Which, we all know that's a very fun experience. That right there is an Ismail. Not exactly the sort of ship you'd usually want to face. There come the bounces, because the area you can overmatch on that ship is very, very small. It doesn't have a superstructure either. It's just a tough thing to kill, I guess. Unless he shows broadside, which I suppose Bayern does tank pretty well. It bounced all those as well. Here I kinda just get a bit too greedy for the cheek shot and get more bounces. He doesn't do much either. The carrier straight up just misses. Which, damn, that's lucky for me. And yeah, now I have this Ismail right in front of me who whom I will definitely try to stay angled to. This poor Cavour is on quad fire, so he's enjoying himself. And he's in my flank, so I find him to be much more worrying than that Ismail. But there he goes, he is gone. And now it is me against that Ismail and the planes. Got those shells bounced, those bounce as well. Those do a bit of damage. Here comes the Sky Cancer again. Just as usual. Aiming for the right spot on the bow this time, getting around 7k. There's Confederate from the fire that is ticking. Sector's got a lucky one. And here he turns broadside. Straight up, just broadside. He doesn't even do all that much damage to me, apart from like, I think it was 7k-ish, but that's a front gun death strike. That's the second death strike of the match that my Bayern has landed. Keep in mind, this is the first time I've been playing Bayern in like actual months. There come the torpedo planes, so I very much want to angle away from those. At 11k health, I rather wouldn't die. That's a Devonshire. We all know what Devonshires do, especially if they angle like that. That's right, they explode. And yeah, dodged one set of torps. Sadly, the carriers kind of cross-dropped me. Only take one from the Ryujo though. And it didn't do much damage because at this point the hull is just so saturated. There's torpedoes from the Devonshire, so probably the right call to turn into this island here. That's just one torpedo that's coming from the Ryujo. And there he is, actually. He's right behind that island there. I'm lucky I didn't get a flood here, which that would have just straight up killed me. But I kind of get a shot on this Ryujo. Now, dispersion's looking pretty good. The aim is on. That's my Discord, by the way. And yeah, 4 overpens, 1 citadel. That could have been a third death strike. A CV death strike, no less. I was very much hoping that would have been a kill. Getting another shot in as well, actually. And look at this, by the way. The Independents straight up missed rockets because I out-accelerated them. Got another shot. Another citadel. Still no kill. Which, at that point, that's just sad. CV fortunately does not nuke me for like 8k with those bombs. I'll just quickly look at what my Discord wanted. Ah, that is what it wanted. Nothing too important. Right, yeah, that's pretty much where this game comes to an end. Although the carriers are still going to go after me. Which, look at the plane kills, by the way. We're at 28 plane kills. Which, for Bayern, that's pretty good. That Independence is completely ignoring the Königsberg. He is on my ass with those bombers. He took some flak there as well. Losing planes. At quite a high rate. Despite me being at the right angle, that's all 3 bombs hitting. And not doing any damage, fortunately. Very, very fortunately. So yeah, that's 30 plane kills at this point. And there is the CV. We aim waterline. Take the shot. It's a broadside stationary target, so of course this has to be like 1 citadel. It can't even overpen at this range, right? Oops, psych. Shells fell kinda short. Can't have that much fun. So yeah, RCV kind of nukes him, the Königsberg gets the kill. And that is basically the game. Derflinger took a big hit there. Probably from the Ryujo bombs. And he'll be pretty much just dead at this point. Yeah, there come the carrier planes again. Get some more AA damage in. Put a good GG in chat because manners. Actually trying to turn in and... Oh, Piotr actually rammed the Derflinger. Yeah, at this point, I'm not dying to those torpedoes. so I'm fine. Yeah, that is the game. 155k damage, pretty good. 47 main gun hits, that's not too bad. 20 overpens, again my Discord. 32 plane shutdown, 1 incapacitation, 4 kills. Sadly, the Kraken was robbed on multiple occasions, but that's just what happens. Fire from the secondaries, flooding on the submarine from that depth charge. 9 Citadel hits, which that's pretty good. Yeah, 2 Death Strikes, High Caliber, Dreadnought, Confederate, and Division Achievement, which, yeah. It was almost 2.5k base XP. LCV came second, which I suppose he did some pretty good work. Only our Fubuki, who got detonated, he's kind of low. And of course that Königsberg that got death struck by me at the very beginning of the game. He is not having a good time. Detailed report, we've got 1000 damage from the secondaries. Lovely. We've got 70k AA damage. And yeah, here's the aircraft destroyed. 1 fighter. The rest was all actually valuable plane kills. Which I didn't think Bayern would do that. I would have more expected this from like a Gneisenau, because it has actual AA. Not a lot of potential damage, that's for sure. Bayern can get way more than this. And yeah, what sort of damages did we take? We took 2 fires for 10k, which that's not too bad. The torpedoes were pretty big damage dealer, especially the carrier drops from the Ryujo. And yeah, that's pretty much the end result on that. So hope this World of Warships video is also fine by those who watch Newbie Rumble and still around for that. I have some more replays which I might make videos on in the future, but until then, goodbye.